Hi everyone, Keelloo here. I'm here for another episode of Keelloo Talk. It's been a long time, and I'm here to talk about a topic related to my job, bourbon and whiskey. Yeah, not that thrilled about this, but I'm going to talk about it. So I am an employee of a liquor store. Obviously, I'm not going to say where. Um, going to try to explain to you how bourbon is these days. And when I say these days, it has not always been this way. So, bourbon, if you don't know, is an American spirit that needs to be aged minimum 2 years, blah, blah, blah. But it's become so popular that bottles that used to be on the shelf for a long time are now extremely hard to find. Um, a couple examples, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton's, EH Taylor, Pappy Van Winkle, Weller, whatever. Which they're all fine. In my opinion, Eagle Rare and Blanton's are quite good, but that is not the point of this. Um, but these bourbons, I don't understand the hype about it. It's bourbon. It's bourbon, but people are willing to spend an inordinate amount of money on stuff that is just not worth it. And I will get into that. But let me get into the customer base about these people. I work in a relatively nice area um, where people will pay way too much for the bourbon they want. And hey, that's not my money, but there's a lot of stuff that you can buy on the shelf normally that's not this expensive. It's just annoying. And uh, next topic. So when I say annoying, they seem to know that we're getting something. I don't know why, but it's like our store will order something and it'll be like, "Hey, when are you getting this?" Oh, we don't know. We ordered it, but they'll know somehow and stop annoying us. We have other things to do than cater to your every need. And these people come in and they're like, "Do you have Blands?" No. Well, why not? We don't get Blands. Where can I go? Well, I'll refer you to another area. And I have no problem with that. That's fine. But why is bourbon and whiskey like this? And again, in our liquor stores, this is pretty much the only thing that is as annoying as this. I mean, even hard to find wines are not as annoying as this. As someone may say, it's just brown liquor. It really is. It's bourbon. And now, as a rebuttal to that, I'm going to list off a few nicer bourbons that you can find on the regular. Maybe you may not consider them nice, but from my experience in drinking and being on the job, well, I'm not drinking on the job, but just recommending people things that you can find without having to deal with all the bullshit of anything Buffalo Trace related. And I want to emphasize that. Okay, so nice bourbons that you can find on daily. Maker's Mark 46 or the cask strength. Nice, mellow, weeded bourbons. And the cask strength has a little more kick to it, if that's something that you want. Most cask strength bourbons are going to be more expensive and have kick to it. Woodford Reserve, I'm just going to say standard Woodford Reserve is fair game to me. It's nice, easy drinking, not too expensive. And then step up from that is the double oaked Woodford Reserve. That is probably one of my favorite bourbons. It's I don't want to sound pretentious here, but it's oaky, it's mellow, while being high in alcohol. Real nice, yeah. If someone's looking for a good gift and they don't want to go too fancy, that's nice. All right, here's one that uh, uh God, I'm stuttering here. Why would you recommend this, Mike? Evan Williams. Evan Williams is a typically bottom shelf bourbon, not expensive, but for mixing drinks, if you want to make a Manhattan or an old fashioned, Evan Williams is really really good, and they have a small batch if you're ever interested in that. All right, moving on. Knob Creek 12, a very nice, from what I've heard, bourbon that is, I guess, readily available. We'll get it, but it's not Bland's. It's the same price as Bland's, but I've heard it's better. Again, no real comments about that, but that's a bottle that whenever I see it come in, I'm like, oh wow, we got this. So, Basil Hayden's. Basil Hayden's is Jim Beam's, I guess, premium bourbon. It sells a lot. They've got multiple varieties. They've got dark rye. They've got toasted. They've got smoked version. And they've got a red wine cask one. It's solid. Again, for Jim Beam products, not bad, not bad at all. Angel's Envy. I want to talk about this one for a specific reason. This is a bourbon that's aged in port barrels, so it's going to have a sweeter note to it because port wine is um, fortified, so it's very strong, but it's sweet. It's very sweet, but it's not. But the bourbon itself is not what I would call one on the sweeter side, but it does have a very distinct flavor profile. They do have a rye as well, and a barrel proof one, if you're interested. Michter's, very popular one around here. Um, there's just a regular straight rye. I'm sorry, regular straight bourbon, regular rye, and unblended blend. Blah blah blah. And then they have some crazy shit. This 20-year-old one that's worth about $1,200. But standard Michter's does sell really well. It's a solid pick if you want something in the $50 price range. Thought I'd just mention that. What's next? Jefferson's. So Jefferson's has a number of varieties. There's their standard. They call it a VSB, very special batch. Never had it. I'm just commenting on it. And then they have a Manhattan version, which is weird, but a reserve, which is probably a special cask they have. And then there's the Ocean, which is their, I guess, claim to fame. Jefferson's Ocean is a bourbon that they blend and then they put in casks that they put on a boat, and they will just carry it around the globe. I'm not shitting you. And they have a rye version too. It's very expensive. It's 80 something dollars. And I guess the salt from the ocean air infuses into the bourbon and makes this quality product. It sells really well, so I guess that's not a bad thing. Okay, moving on. Oh, sorry, 1 second here. New Riff. This is a newer company that, um, I wasn't really. I saw it and I'm like, okay, it's another run of the mill bourbon, but holy shit! Personal recommendation: if you can ever get a bottle of their rye bottled in bond is it's 100 proof, aged 4 years. That shit is good. I'm not sure how common it is, but oh, it's good. Rye whiskey is a little bit. It's got a little bit more spice and kick to it. Sometimes a higher proof, but oh, it's good. Okay, that was section one. We got two more sections. This one's not going to be real long. Our store, shit that is not selling, and Jacob's Pardon. Has anyone ever heard of that? It's $90. It's been sitting on our shelves for like a year plus. No, okay. Old Saint Nick, $170, $180, sitting in our case. No, okay. Kentucky Owl. All right, no comment. All right. So the last section I want to talk about is the a few unicorns that I know some people in the bourbon world look for, and my brief comments on those, because I don't want to make this video too long. Knob Creek 18, $180, comes in this fancy box. Do we really need bourbon this old? Are we making scotch at this point? I'm sure it's very good. Knob Creek makes good products. I told you the 12-year is good. And then Elijah Craig, 20-year. No, am I being stupid? Elijah Craig, 18. I'm sorry. Equally expensive. Well, it's $200. But hey, people will see it on the shelves, and it's like, well, how much is that? Well, it's $200. I'll take it. Yeah. A couple more Elijah Craig products. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which is I have tasted this. It's excellent for I think it's around 60, $65. Elijah Craig does make a good product. I will give him that. I will never probably ever have that old one, but the barrel proof, it's great. It's fantastic. Toasted Elijah Craig, toasted barrel. So it's more oagy than the regular release. Not super expensive, but the point of this part is these are hard to find. I'm just giving a short list of ones that are hard to find. Russell's Reserve 13. Oh my god. When we got this at our store, 6 bottles, it was gone in like 10 minutes. I can't comment. I'm just saying. Four Roses single barrel reserve. One, I'm not super informed on this one, but I know it's expensive. I think it's about $100. I know Four Roses does fairly well, and we have people asking about the reserve. Nope, we don't have it. And then finally, Blanton's Minis. You know, the little hand grenades that are running for $12 for 50 milliliters of Blanton's, which, no. No, no, no. All right, well, that's a quick rundown of bourbon from what I've dealt with. And again, I have no issues with people who are passionate about bourbon, but it gets really ridiculous sometimes when you could ask the same damn questions and you either tell them, no, we don't have it, or you don't have an answer to it. So if any of you out there are bourbon enthusiasts, collectors, you like bourbon, you like to drink bourbon, a little respect to the employees goes a long way. Because we don't mind helping you, but a little rudeness about, why don't you have this? We don't appreciate that, obviously. So, all right. I guess that's it. Happy bourbon hunting, I guess. And I'll see you guys later. I know it's been a long time, but have a good one. Bye.